We had a very Merry Christmas. I want to speak to you today about some technology. This is in regards to something called BlackLight power. I'm under the mind that with any great social transformation, there's a corresponding technological transformation. We see this in, for example, with the great mythical religions. There was creation of new agricultural techniques, and with the Industrial Revolution, we see the mechanization and industrialization of the society. And then with the post-modern, post-cultural, kind of post-structural transformation of mind, you see sort of the computers taking root. I believe if we really want to see this kind of human potential that's being talked about in sort of the Holon network really manifest itself, there needs to be a transformation in our technologies. One of my acquaintances pointed me towards something called BlackLight power, and this, in my mind, is the scientific, that is the objective, correspondent to integral mind, an integrative mind. The company BlackLight Power, I quote, has created the scientific theory and technological breakthrough that would create a transformation to the next stage of civilization. It is based on creating power from hydrinos, a lower state in the hydrogen atom at any scale. And it has 200 times the output rating, meaning 200 times more energy than is put in to it. It uses a renewable energy source or fuel, has zero pollution. This company already has contracts with many power companies, but can it be mass produced? Can the human potential movement finally gain teeth in an outdated monetary resource-based global economy with the dawn of a new technology like hydrino power? For all the force that we humans are putting out for a change, especially integrative change, can we finally have the social structures to manifest the information in industrial age too by the new breakthroughs? And I think that we can. End quote. So this is just one element of the technological sides to the kind of more integrative theories that go along with it. Other elements in my mind are things like sort of permaculture. That's the agricultural side. So we have to augment how we do agriculture instead of this kind of monolithic, what we call monoculture. And that's actually, in a sense, more fundamental than the re-establishment and reworking of the industrial base. So like, if you look back at how we technologically worked with agriculture, that was changed in the Industrial Revolution. That was somewhat even changed in the postmodern revolution. But with integrative theory, it kind of goes from the bottom up. All levels transform in a sense. And that's the kind of magic of it, in my mind. So like, if you, like I, believe that there are 4 quadrants, sort of psychological or subjective, intersubjective, objective, and interobjective, all of these simultaneously, in my mind, to some extent, over maybe a gradual period, but still somewhat simultaneously, will transform with this kind of integrative move all the way down, so that, you know, in the sort of techno-industrial element, you can see, you know, there's going to be industrial change, and what that means is new monetary systems, how we think about money and what money means will become, if nothing else, kind of pluralistic, or maybe more than that. It's hard to say exactly. I see a word tossed around by Jonathan Doe there called geodesic or something, and I don't understand what that means, but potentially something like that. 3-dimensional wealth. There's other theories I have about wealth, but put that on the side burner. I'm just saying that technologically, interobjectively speaking, or techno-industrial modes will evolve maybe simultaneously all the way down. So we get new ways of interacting with nature, sort of the kind of shamanistic element of hunter and gatherer, but it's, you know, it's kind of still present, how we interact with that. That'll all augment alongside our agricultural, as I said, permacultural, more maybe would flourish, our industrial modes. So now we have new computational and sort of robotic intelligence integrated into industrial modes, and then simultaneously our informational systems will augment, because now we have intelligent gathered information sources, so that, you know, on the internet you have a wide scale mass of information, but there's very little meaning segregation of this, so that, like, it's hard for you to know what information is useful and pertaining to a particular area at a particular time, sort of. So there's a new navigation of information in this new system, so that, in this sense, that all systems in this objective domain just simultaneously evolve, and that's magical in some sense. And likewise, I'd say in the objective scientific sphere, if you will, all senses of science will augment all the way up and all the way down. And then in our intercultural relationships, likewise, you have dynamicness that sort of sparkle at all levels. And then there's like the subjective mind, when it sees this happening, when it's taking place, it also must react. It must live into that reality that's changing, that's manifesting in front of it, so that it is hitting and shining at all those levels of consciousness, perhaps. So that's something that I thought I'd throw out there. The BlackLight power, check it out. I think that is, in some sense, the movement into integral domains of energy production. Brian O'Connell, he's a great thinker that came up, showed me that, so that blessings, y'all. Happy New Year.